Thank you for tuning in to this podcast episode by Miss Julie. We hope you enjoy your listening experience, and please look out for more in the future.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to this week's podcast. As promised, I told you that I wanted to talk about boundaries. So that's what we're going to do today. Because boundaries and forgiveness do go together, I think it's important that we talk about each. I know last time we talked about why we wanted to pray for our bullies because they have enough hurt and hatred in their life already, and they probably don't have many people that like to pray for them. Well, when we do this, it's also known sometimes as forgiving people. And we all want to forgive people when they hurt us, but that doesn't always mean that we should stay in a situation and continue to be abused and allow people to continue to hurt us. You know, we like to pray for people and forgive people because that's good for our heart. And it will be good for their heart as well eventually. But sometimes it doesn't always work out that people are going to change immediately. Sometimes we have to have safe distance between us and the people that hurt us. So there's a Bible story in the Gospel of Luke, and it says one day Jesus was teaching the people who wanted to listen to him. Even though he hadn't done anything wrong, some people just did not like what Jesus was saying. They became very angry with him, and they chased Jesus out of town. They were so upset they wanted to throw Jesus over a cliff, and Jesus had to walk away from them. Now another story comes out of the Gospel of John. It's John 10:39. And again, it was another time when Jesus was teaching people, and some of them got very angry. They tried to grab him to hurt him, but he escaped their grasp. So now we see 2 times that Jesus literally had to walk away and get away from people who were trying to hurt him. If we take a look at the first book of Samuel, this would be in 1 Samuel 20:12 through 13, we find a very similar story about a man named David. There was a king named Saul, but God had someone else in mind to be king. God chose a boy named David, and David was a very good man, and he loved God. However, King Saul was very jealous of David, and he did not want David to be king. David's best friend was Saul's son, Jonathan. When Jonathan went to talk to his dad about this, he found out that his father was trying to kill David. Jonathan, of course, had to tell David about it so David would have a chance to leave town. So you may be wondering, what does all of this have to do with boundaries and forgiving people? Well, again, we just don't want to stay in any situation where a person is continually trying to hurt us. Another way of saying that is we should create a boundary. Boundaries are okay. It's kind of like a border or a space between two people or objects. Like if you think about a fence in the backyard, it creates a boundary for your home and it keeps your yard separate from somebody else's yard and somebody else's home. It puts some distance between yourself and the person who is hurting you. When we set up boundaries, that's what this is meant to be. Just distance. Some people think that forgiveness means that you should continue to stay with somebody who's hurting you over and over again. Well, Jesus did not do that, and neither did David. They both walked away from people who were trying to hurt them. When God had good plans for both Jesus and David, and he's got good plans for us too. It is okay if you need to walk away from people that continue to hurt you. Now, I would say continue to pray for that person, of course, But if somebody is hurting you physically or emotionally and it's just not stopping, I would definitely tell you to please tell a trusted adult, especially if this person is telling you that, these things are secrets. We're going to get into secrets in another podcast, probably next week, because we do need to talk about that as well. But for right now, I just want you to know that if somebody's hurting you, it is absolutely okay to go tell somebody about this, and definitely put a boundary in place where you do not have to be around this person. And if you really are finding yourself in this situation, let's say this prayer together. It may hurt, but it will always be helpful. Dear God, please forgive the name of the person who is hurting me. I know I have done some bad things in my life and that I have hurt others too at times. I'm really sorry for that, Lord. Please fill us both with your peace and your love so that we can all stop hurting each other and stop hurting on the inside as well. Thank you for healing our emotions, Lord. And please give me the wisdom to continue to keep safe distance from people as you take the time to work in their hearts. Amen.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to this podcast episode by Miss Julie. If you want more from Miss Julie, be sure to check out our website at christforkidsministries.org.